Our next guest is the stand-up comedian and actor who's had us laughing, entertained on shows like Would I Lie to You? I love Would I Lie to You? And A Brilliant Trip, of course.
But of course, we all know him as Rob Brydon, best known as the lovable Uncle Bryn from Gavin and Stacey.
And he joins us now. Good morning, Rob.
Morning, Rob.
Hey, how are you?
Great, thanks. Rob, where are you right now? Is this the office at the end of the garden? What's the...
Man cave.
Talk us through the whole scenario.
This is at the top of the house. This is my little office, and it's a very nice, peaceful sanctuary in the house.
How are you doing, my darling? It's lovely to see you. Is everything all right?
Yeah,
How's your screen time?
everything's good. You know, I mean, it's like it is for everyone. It's a very, very strange time to be around, but things are good. I can't complain.
Well, I'm very excited about this tour, a night of songs and laughter. And quite frankly, songs and laughter is all we need right now. Tell us a little bit about this tour.
Well, I put together a band, an 8-piece band. I've done a lot of singing over the years on different things, whether it's Gavin and Stacey or different radio shows, and even in my old stand-up shows. But I'd always wanted to do a thing that was all music and comedy together. So this is an evening where I'm telling stories about how I first got interested in performing, which was at school doing musicals with Ruth Jones. We did Guys and Dolls and Carousel. So I tell those stories. I sing these songs. We actually ask the audience to challenge us and, you know, say, come up with they'll name a song. So you'll get stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody shouted at you, and the band are so good and they'll try and do it. It's just a lovely, warm, fun evening, really.
Rob, I've heard you sing. You've got a nice voice. When you put together the set list, because that sounds very Springsteen-esque to me. We're both huge Springsteen fans, and I've talked about it with you in the past. Do you do that? People put up the sort of like bow rap, and you're like, guys, on 3, bow rap. Yeah. I mean, how do you go about picking your set list?
Well, with Bruce stuff, of course, his new album is out today, and I know you're going to interview him. I'm very jealous. Somebody did shout Born to Run once, and we managed to do that because we were doing this tour back at the beginning of the year and then had to stop when lockdown came in. It's kind of autobiographical. So it starts off with the musicals that I did at school. It comes through working with people like Tom Jones, who I've done a few shows with and sung a few songs with. And I say how, you know, if you ever get the chance to sing with Tom Jones, say no, because, you know, you can't win. The man's a force of nature. And then it comes right up to now with Islands in the Stream, which we did in Gavin and Stacey, and we did as a single.
I love that song.
So, yeah. Oh, and there we are.
What's your favourite song to sing, do you think? What do you really, in your comfort zone, you know, you can belt out and nail?
I do Sit Down, You Rock in the Boat from Guys and Dolls.
Oh, yeah,
I sing, I do a bit from Under Milk Wood, you know, that lovely play that Dylan Thomas wrote. Yeah. And George Martin did a production of it years ago. And it's a duet. And so there's spoken word in that, there's singing, the music is beautiful. So I always enjoy that. And also people aren't familiar with it. So it's quite enjoyable to give them something new.
Rob, when you said you were halfway through the concert, you were literally halfway through the concert. You were sound checking when lockdown came in, so you had to pretty much down tools and walk?
We were at Guildford and we were doing the sound check. So the band it's an 8-piece band and there's incredible musicians. We're all set up. And that was the day the press conference happened where they said, they didn't say you can't go to the theatre. They said, we don't recommend you go to the theatre. So I thought, well, I don't want this on my conscience. I don't want people coming to see me and getting ill. And it was a strangely emotional thing to have to say to the band who are all sat there, we're not doing the show. And I kind of welled up. And then as I was leaving the venue, audience were arriving. And I went to my car in the car park and there were a couple, I'll never forget, who saw me leaving. And they said, have we got a show, Rob? And I said, no, we haven't, you know, because it was all in the news. It was all in the air. And again, it was just so emotional because you'd never experienced something like this before.
Yeah. Sure. I've got to ask, how did you develop the comedy and the singing in this show? Did you find it quite difficult?
It's sort of an extension of shows I've done before, where at the end of my normal stand-up show, I would do half an hour with a guitar, taking requests, making up funny songs. So, I mean, it took a long time. I worked with my musical director for about a year, just coming up with the set list, trying different songs. And he he's done, Paul Herbert, his name is, he's done amazing things with my voice. You know, you can have an okay voice, but if you've got someone who knows what they're doing with it, they can bring out things in it that were never there. So it then evolved over the 12 shows, actually, Alison, because it became a lot tighter, and I realize when people come to see me, they're expecting to laugh. That's the main thing, you know. It's not me being Michael Ball or Alfie Boe. It's essentially, it's a funny night, but a lot of the humour comes through the music as well.
Nice.
And let's talk about the fact that you are now a YouTuber, babes. You've got your new YouTube channel, Brydon, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I do all that from up here. This is where I do it. It was an idea. A producer friend of mine called me at the beginning of lockdown and said, have you ever thought of a YouTube channel? I said, of course not. And we talked and talked. We ended up doing it. And now, it's going great guns. I've interviewed Will Ferrell, Ruth Jones, Alison Steadman. They're lovely little sort of 18, 20-minute interviews. And what I love about them is that I get to control them. You know, they can be exactly how I want them to be. And they're just really friends that I'll send an email to. There's no agents involved. I just send them an email. And so far, everybody I've asked has said yes. So it's been a delight, and I'm gonna keep on doing it.
Amazing. Well, that YouTube is out on the 22nd of October for the second season, Brydon and also the tour next year, March 2021, a night of song and laughter. How amazing is that?
Can I tell you that if people are interested in the tour, they can go to robbrydon.live, and it's all there.
Thank you, Rob.
I bet you're glad you got that domain name.
You know, it's an odd thing. Nobody else wanted it.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
Great talking to you, buddy.
Thanks a lot, darling.
All right.
Oh, amazing.